Everyone is always telling you got to email your list, right? That's like some of the most common advice out there is got to email your list, stay in front of your list, keep sending more emails. The question a lot of people have is, okay, but what do I send them? And so what I'm going to give you in this video is 5 different frameworks that we use that we can always pull from to make sure that we basically never run out of emails to send, because we can take any one of these frameworks, insert information. Now we've got a great email to send and we send it out. And the other thing I'm going to give you right at the end of this video is the kind of the best practices and templates that we use to make sure that people keep wanting to read all of our emails, because what's the point of building an email list if nobody wants to read your email? Like, no one opens them and reads them. So I'm going to give you the frameworks that we use to make sure that we keep a really engaged following. And using this, we've got email lists that are getting anywhere between like 20 to 35% open rates on a consistent basis, because we're using these frameworks and these best practices to make sure we've got an engaged following. So all of that coming up in this video right here. Really quick, if you don't know me already, my name is Bryce. I run a marketing agency where we partner with companies that have high ticket offers and we help them scale those up online. And so you can check out probably our website somewhere around here, or you can subscribe to this channel. What I'm just do is, make information about what we're doing at the agency every day to help people with high ticket offers scale those up online. With that said, let's jump into this content. So the very first email, and one of my favorite emails, is a story-based correlation email. I learned this email from Ian Stanley a few years ago, and it is pretty much an easy go-to email that you can use all the time that most people just enjoy reading. So what is a correlation email? It's really just taking anything that has happened at all in your life, in your business, in the news, anything, and relating that somehow back to business and whatever you have to sell in your offer and your clients. So for example, everybody knows what it's like to have a rock in your shoe. Everybody knows what it's like to be in a hurry to get somewhere and you go out to the car and the car won't start. Everybody knows what it's like to have a crazy aunt. So if you have any of these stories, what you can do is basically tell your story about your experience with that thing that everybody relates to. And then what you can do is somehow tie that back to what you have to offer, the business, what you sell, whatever that is, how you help your customers. What makes this really easy is that it's an engaging story-based email, and you can basically pull ideas from anywhere. If you walk down the street, you can come up with 15 different email ideas because you probably had 15 different experiences while you were taking a walk. The other day we sent out an email that did really well that was relating the story of the rabbit and the hare to why you need to make sure that you're playing the long game when you're running your business. And that was an email that we sent out for a client, and it worked really well. We had super good open rates, we got really good responses, and we booked a bunch of sales calls because people could understand that relation, that everyone's heard that story, and they understood, oh man, that totally makes sense that I need to take this approach to running my business. These guys definitely know what they're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and book a call with them. And so that's a really easy way to just basically take any story you can come up with and somehow correlate that back to your business, or back to your offer, or how you help your clients. What you're really just trying to do is give them some kind of like aha moment, some kind of nugget of information, or just give them kind of like a motivation to move forward, like a kick in the pants, right? All you have to do is find a way to tie that generalized story right back into whatever you have to promote or sell, or how you help your clients, or what you want them to learn, or what knowledge you want to give them, or anything like that. Second email, super easy to do. This is probably one of my favorite ones to do whenever we're in a situation where like, oh man, we got to get an email out because we were supposed to email out tomorrow or the next day. We don't really have anything planned. What can we do? This is where we just send out bonus trainings. So these emails are super easy to use. We basically send out an email that says, hey, we've got this bonus training. You should check this out. This would be really good if you're this type of person wanting to accomplish this type of thing. Click on the link. We send them to a landing page that just has an embedded training video. And if you're like me or pretty much all of my clients, you probably got tons of these because we all create lots of content online. And you take it to a landing page that just has an embedded training video where you're giving them some extra content. The best part about this is it's just kind of like the old showing people you can help them by just actually helping them trick, right? What I have found over many years of doing this is the more time you can get people consuming your content, the easier it is to get a sale, and the more enjoyable that sales process usually is, and usually the better client that person is at the end of the day anyways. And so if someone's on our email list and they're not ready to buy yet, what we can do is just keep giving them valuable content. And these emails are really easy to do because, again, we put these together pretty quick because it's a super short email and it sends people out to valuable video training content that we probably already have available. You probably already have available. We're just embedding that on a landing page so that when they go there, there is the training video that we want to send them to, and there's a simple call to action about what to do next if they want to take the next step. The next email that is super easy to send, and I think that more people should do this because it is insane how many people I don't see do this with their newsletters, is sending out case studies and client success stories. So if you have students or clients or customers that are getting amazing results or having great experiences with your product, you should email that out to your email list. Absolutely. And you can do this every single week. just find a different client or student or whatever to highlight and send out, you know, where were they when they started with you guys? What did they want to accomplish when they started working with you guys? And then, you know, what have their results been? And people can really engage because they can see themselves in these other customers, and that really helps move people forward to seeing the value in working with you. If you're trying to send out these types of emails, and let's say you don't have a ton of client case studies, maybe you've only got 5 case studies, what you can do is just find different angles to approach the case studies that you're sending out. So for one, you could send out a student success story and you could talk about their whole journey working with you. The next one, you could send out that same person's story, but you could highlight what have been the results the last couple of weeks working with you, right? What have you guys accomplished in the last 2-4 weeks working together? Maybe working together for a longer period of time, you just want to highlight the end of it. The next one, you could just highlight exactly their testimonial, like what did they say about working with you? So you can find a lot of different ways to slice and dice it. And then again, if you just have a bunch of case studies, just send one out every week. Send out one out on a regular basis and just show people the kind of results other people like them get working with you. This is one of the best emails you can send out, and it's a super easy one to do. The fourth email you can send out, another super easy one, is just make direct offers. You can absolutely just make super direct offers to your list, and you should do that on a regular basis. Here in a second, I'm going to show you kind of our rule about how we know how many offers to send and how many to not send, and that's how we keep people engaged with our list. You don't want to just hammer people with buy my stuff all the time, but you do want to tell people to buy your stuff, or what's the next step? What should they do when they're ready to move forward? And so these are emails that you can send that are just super direct offers. You're just saying, hey, like, this is the next product we have, this is the opportunity to work with us, this is how many spaces we have available this month. If you are this type of person who wants to get this type of result, you should definitely move forward and do this thing, which is either buy our stuff, book our call with us, whatever that is. And the fifth email here is just your most valuable content. So I see this all of the time, is business owners make a piece of content and maybe they send it out to their email list one time, usually not. I see it constantly where business owners make stuff and they just post it on their blog or they post it on their YouTube channel, and they just assume that their whole audience consumes that thing right away without any needing to be directed towards that thing. And that's just not the case. I think what you can actually assume is that most people don't see most of the stuff that you do. So you can just keep reminding them. And so what we'll do is we'll keep a list of what is all of the best content that we have for us or for our clients, and we'll just send that out on a regular basis. So if we have somebody new coming onto our email list, we will basically send them like our best of the best highlights, where we're just sending them our most valuable content, whether that's on our blog or our YouTube channel or wherever that is. We will send out where our most valuable content is, send that out in email so that people can consume that content. And then if we'll reuse that email a few weeks or a few months later. So we make the assumption that most people don't read every one of our emails, and the stats just show that's true, right? If you have a 30% open rate, a 20% open rate on your emails, then most people are not reading every email you send out. And most people aren't watching every video you post or every blog post that you post out there. And so reusing content and reusing emails works really well. So we just look at what is the content that's working best, that people are resonating best with, that we've gotten the best feedback with, that's generated the most results, the most clients, whatever that is, and we will just send that out on a regular basis. So anytime you have a new piece of content, you always send that out to your entire email list. And then if that email works well or that piece of content does well, reuse that. You can change up the email and you can make the email a little different so you're not sending the exact same email. But you can basically say something very similar, say the same thing, and send them to the same piece of content, because you're just highlighting what's worked best for you and you're sending out your best content to the people who need to read it. Making the assumption that not every person reads every email, right? Somebody might read every couple of emails from you when a subject line really resonates with them. So you can send out that same email or a very similar email with a different subject line a little later and get a different group of people to actually consume that content and get to spend more time with you online. And that's it. Those are 5 really simple different frameworks you can use. So again, we've got like correlation story emails. Again, taking anything you can come up with, right? A rock in your shoe, and talking about how that relates to growing your business, moving forward, improving your relationships, better health, whatever it is that your offer helps people with or your business helps with. You can tell a story about how you experienced, how that relates back to something they can think about. You're giving them some kind of aha moment or some motivation, a little kick in the pants, and then you have a little CTA at the end about, hey, if you're ready to move forward, or here's what the next step would be. You've got case study emails, student success stories. These are super great emails to send out. Just show people how you help other people like them. You've got bonus trainings or bonus content that are just super short emails, right? A couple of lines with like a, hey, click on this and you can go to this free bonus training. Oftentimes these are like gated trainings, webinars, maybe different BSLs or something you put together that you just put on a landing page. It's just easy content they can consume with a call to action at the bottom. Then you've got just making direct offers, right? Every now and then or on a regular basis, you should be just making very direct offers to people. Hey, we got this many spaces available. Do you want one? Here's the next product you should check out. Do you want to get it? Just make super direct offers. And then the last one is just sending out your most valuable content. The stuff that you have spent a lot of time and energy creating, make sure that you're sending that out on a regular basis. You should not just send out one email one time once you create a piece of content. Once you have something that works really well, send it out often, send it out regularly. Remember that most people don't read every single email that you send out. So here's the rule that we use with our clients and with ourselves to make sure that we're building a relationship with our reader and we're building a valuable asset that the business can use for years to come by giving a lot of value to our list and also making offers and not just hitting people over the head with the like buy my stuff hammer every single day, is we use the 70-30 rule. So we send out about 70% of our content is valuable information that is giving them something, and we're making a deposit into that relationship. The other 30% is we're actually making offers and we're trying to get them to take action with us, and we're kind of drawing on that relationship that we've been building with that individual. Now, this doesn't mean that you cannot make an offer in every email. So what we do is if we have a value-based email, we will make 70% of that email about, approximations. We'll make about 70% of that email to be valuable information, valuable content, a story, a training, whatever that is. At the very bottom, we'll put an offer. Sometimes we'll just put like a soft call to action. Hey, if you're ready to move forward, here's the next steps. When you're ready, here's what we can do for you. If you're this type of person looking for this kind of help, here's what you should do next. But we just put that at like the bottom of the email or at the PS of the email. And then every 4 to 5 emails, because we're holding about 70% of its valuable content, every 4 to 5 emails, we just make a super direct offer. That whole email is just pitching something, whether that's pitching a product or a call to action to book a sales call or whatever that is. 70% of our emails are valuable or like value-based, and then 30% are just straight up offers. When we use these different 5 frameworks that I just laid out for you, again, if we need an email tomorrow, what can I do? Well, I can just say, do I have any content that I haven't sent out in a while? I can grab that. Do I have any bonus trainings or videos that I've got laying around that I haven't sent out in a while? I can grab that. Do I have any student success stories or case studies that have come up recently? I'll grab that. Do I have any ideas or like insights that I've had over the last couple of days, experiences that I could just write a quick little story about and then tie that back to what we do, give our readers some valuable information, and then move forward that way. And that's it, right? So I can just grab one of those anytime I need it and move forward with putting together some emails. And that way we've always got emails going out. So we try to send emails out 2 to 3 times a week. I think that's a really good cadence. I see a lot of businesses that email once a month, maybe twice a month, and oftentimes they're just like a newsletter with some resources. Oftentimes those resources aren't even from them. They're just like other links online. And I think you're doing yourself a big disservice if you're only emailing your list once or twice a month. You could be easily emailing them 2 to 3 times a week. That's a great way to move forward. If you want to email them 2 to 3 times a week, grab any one of these frameworks and you can use that. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please just drop them down in the comments below. Other than that, I've got another video probably right over here, I think somewhere, that's got some other really good content about emails. And yeah, have a good one.